This is that it's okay. The non-custodial parent would come to my home, and the custodial parent would bring the child to my home, and they would literally hang out in my home, play video games, eat, converse with one another for short periods of time, and for blocks of time. So they would come. We would have staggered appointments so that they could pull into my driveway, drop the child off through one entrance while the parent comes through the other entrance. Um, we've proposed through my packet, we will have security, staggered appointments. All of our families will be, it will be through a court order. Um, and I don't know if there's any questions aside from my packet.
Well, if you have no, well, what we can do is go open up for the commissioners to ask some questions. Commissioners,
Will they be
microphone.
will they be consecutive or will they be, you said staggered, but will there be space between them or?
Yeah, so we intend to have like 3 playrooms. So right now in Cook County, the public service places that do the visits only have 1 room. So we anticipate having at least 3 playrooms. And so we would be able to stagger those in 30-minute increments.
So you could have up to 3 parents visiting their children.
Like 3 adults with yes, with their children, usually 1 child.
How many people will be working in there with you? Because I think you said something about a supervisor. I don't know if that's just you or if there's others.
I would be supervising, and then I do have a couple of people who would be also supervising.
Are the children sleeping there?
No, they would only be my facility would only be open Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. And then on the weekends, we anticipate being open from 9 a.m. to like 7 or 8 p.m.
And approximately how many people do you expect to go through in a week? I mean, I know it will vary, but do you have an average expectation? You've got 3 rooms, you've got 30-minute playtime, and
I don't really have a number of people throughout the week. I feel like if we fill the rooms up, there would be 3 parents in the rooms. And then I usually only have like 1 or 2 children. I haven't had any large families so far because I am doing supervised visits at another place right now, my office, where I have playrooms. And we've usually 1 to 2 children.
And over the course of the week, you'll have approximately how many appointments? Maybe that's a better way to ask.
Maybe like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, maybe 10 appointments.
Yeah. So you just have a wide availability, but not not appointments that will fill the entire available.
Correct.
Are you renovating your home to make it 3 playrooms, or what's happening there?
So when I first bought my home in 2021, it was a 3-bedroom with 1 small, tiny little bathroom upstairs. I did gut rehab my home, so I dropped the basement. So it's now a fully finished basement, large, a bedroom, a full bathroom, full finished basement. So we anticipate using 1 bedroom upstairs, the middle living room, and then the basement. So there will be no need to do any renovations.
This might be a question for Steve. If we propose to move forward with something that is essentially a commercial occupancy in a residential home, does that modify any of the requirements for egress or fire code?
Not necessarily. The house was built the house was rehabbed to the 2009 code. The travel distances in a single family residential district. I mean, you have 2 options. Part of that was part of the improvements was 110 interconnected smoke detectors. Goes off in the basement. It's going to go off on all 3 levels. I can't think of anything from a life safety point or perspective that would be a value add. I suppose if you've got trained staff, making sure that there's a fire extinguisher there. But I think the risk in general to those participating in this is very little, especially in the context of a fully improved up to code, gut rehab.
And you have two means of ingress and egress.
Yes.
Steve, if the owner or the applicant was submitting the application today for the business, would they have to meet a different standard to meet code, or would it be the same code as the resident?
For the business, okay, so the question has come up before the meeting, and I'll go ahead and correct me if what I'm saying here is not representative of the board's questioning. So the question came up is, there are two LLCs, Serrano Law and Stepping Stones. And so the question is Stepping Stones being done, you mentioned being a guardian ad litem. Now, a guardian ad litem has to be a licensed attorney, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so I think that sort of fills in the blank on whether or not if somebody wanted to come in and do supervised visitation as a guardian ad litem, that qualifies as a practicing attorney as defined in the code. Am I missing anything?
My question is more to, we remodeled 5, 6 years ago. Say if the applicant was buying the home like 3 months ago with a view to opening a business there, would she have had to meet different codes if it's a business rather than a residential home? I'm struggling with is it a home business or is it a legal business moving into?
It's a home business. That's the application is for a home business.
A home business for me is something that's done small, no public involved, but
And
that's
that's
my view.
That's exactly what the code defines in home business, but this happens to be a conditional use. So it is, this is the opportunity to, sort of drill down on any anticipated requirements. I off the top of my head, I can't think of any. Scott.
I mean, I'm an architect, so commercial businesses do have a different code requirements. Like the primary reason being that public occupants don't know where to get out of a building. They don't know how to exit. They don't know how to run out of a building or fire. You're familiar with your home, so you know where to go. So most commercial buildings have sprinklers. They have exit signs, as a minimum, an exit sign. So like these are children in a home, in a basement or upstairs, which I know doesn't have a second means of egress. That's the kind of thing where I struggle a little bit, because I do think it does seem to represent to me a different type of business at home, to your point, as opposed to a residence that is now a business.
So let's take a hypothetical. If this was 2,000 square feet of brick and mortar, commercial in a commercial district, I can tell you with absolute certainty, retrofit sprinkling would not be required. Maybe a full fire alarm system with pull stations might be required. I think there's certain things that we can do. Posting exit plans on the walls. Okay, you are here. And I mean, let's face it, it's not a hotel. You're going to look to the left, you're going to see the stairs, you're going to go down. I mean, the code is pretty clear on the commercial side that you don't even need exit signage when it's obvious where the primary.
Sure, but that's only when you have a sight line. So you
Right.
can actually see it.
Right.
If you're upstairs and you're a child.
Well,
you're in a room.
the basement has an independent egress. Okay, that's the quickest way from point A to point B. The first floor, you have two independent front and back door, and then upstairs is your is probably, I don't even want to quantify this as the most complicated place to come from, but you're going up, 2 flights of stairs. I think, while I agree in principle, my fire background tells me that the risk of fire is minimal, if not almost outside the realm of possibility. Now, I understand that in guardian visits, those are things that things can go sideways. Am I correct?
I mean, I don't really anticipate anyone using the kitchen to cook or any.
Well, I'm just saying, for the potential for something malicious. I mean, we are talking about divorces. And again, I'm an amateur when it comes to this. I'm still married. Uh, it's just one of those things that looking at its risk profile, the fact that it has supervisory staff present on site, I think that's a huge value add. They obviously should be intimately familiar with what's going on in each of the three playrooms. And even though I'm assuming privacy is afforded?
Oh, yes.
Yes, okay.
So there'll only be like one family in the living room,
Yeah.
one family in the,
Steve, I'm
So
sorry.
supervisor for each family.
well, I will be one of the supervisors and yes, I will have two other
Okay,
supervisors.
so no, so if there are three families, there'll be three supervisors. I mean, obviously including you.
Mhm.
Steve, or actually either one of you, business license?
They'll need a business license. They'll need a home business license.
Should go with that?
Yes.
Steve, to what percentage, 5 or 6 years ago, was the home remodeled to? Was it 30%?
It was 100%. It was 100%
100%?
gutted. Yeah, it was taken down to the studs.
So all your electric is all brand new?
Every single thing in my home is brand new. Every single thing.
I'm a contractor. I've seen so many fire starts with old wiring.
Yeah, we replaced, literally replaced all of the plumbing, all of the electrical. We demoed the whole house. We dropped the basement. We added 2 bathrooms. We did we went through all of the inspections and did the insulation for the proper areas. So,
Okay, so I mean, it passed all the
Yes,
inspections. It's a pretty
it did.
safe home.
Yeah.
And you reside in the home?
I do.
You will continue to do so?
yes.
Some of the questions I have, reading the guidelines for Forest Park in terms of this type of a conditional improvement, it says the profession will be carried wholly within the principal building, which I'm assuming is the home. And your application, at least 3 times, talks about primarily, because I think you want to use your yard.
I think we would use my yard in like a normal capacity. I wouldn't, we can't blend families.
Mhm.
So if there was a family that wanted to go outside in the yard, I wouldn't object to that.
Mhm.
Cause I do have like a gazebo and a nice yard, if possible. But we are across the street from
The park.
the park.
Yeah, I'm just making sure you know that the language says wholly in the home.
I mean, that was, I think when I was filling that, the goal is for everyone to be inside. If it's nicer outside and someone maybe asks, I haven't really had a lot of
Yeah.
that right now. Yeah.
Yeah, the only reason I ask, I want to be really clear, because are you asking for another condition that you will be using your yard? Because the language speaks about being entirely in the building.
I mean, I wouldn't have any objection solely using just my home.
Where do you see the primary parking happening? It mentions a couple parking spots, but I'm guessing those are going to be taken up by you and your employees.
So I would park in the garage. My employees I have a law firm now and they work from my home sometimes, but it's regular street parking. I do want to use my driveway for the custodial parent to drop the child off. So they would pull into the driveway, drop the child off, and then they would leave.
And you or the other supervisor would greet them at the driveway and bring the child in?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It mentioned there will be no signage or anything. I guess, again, a question for Steve. How is that enforceable in the future? Is that because we'd have to go through this whole process again?
If they wanted signage?
Yeah.
I don't think signage provides any value to your operation, does it?
No, we think that the children will just feel very comfortable with walking into a home as opposed to something that looks like more like commercial. And I don't feel that I need any big signage.
Staff would recommend that there be no signage as the code requires.
Yeah, it does state,
Requirement?
I'm sorry?
That's a requirement.
I believe it is, yeah.
I just want to confirm that it doesn't.
Item 3 under home occupation.
Commissioners, any other questions before we go to public comment?
No.
No.
I see we have two people from the public who've joined us since we started. I didn't know if you had any questions. Yeah, I'll need to swear you in. So you want to say something? Okay, well, the swearing in is really simple. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony that you give will be the truth? If so, please say I do. Great, thank you.
Please take the.
And please come on up to the microphone. That way, everything's, because we're recording with Zoom and everything will be picked.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lisette. You can have a seat. Well, let's see what questions come from the public.
Sure. First name Kurt, last name Backey, Baacke. And we both live on 7500 block of Harrison. And my one question is, I believe that you stated that you anticipate 10 clients a week. Was that?
10 appointments.
10 appointments, yeah. I just wanted to know how much growth you foresee. I mean, it might start out as 10, but in within a reasonable amount of time, it certainly could increase or it could decrease. But I just wanted to know what your feelings are on that.
I mean, I hope that I get so busy.
Go up to the mic.
I hope that I get busy enough that I can buy kind of home after home. But I don't know until I get in practice, because in Cook County, we have 3 non-for-profit centers. And in Cook County, I would be one of the first private centers, and also one of the first centers run by an attorney, a guardian ad litem who is in the system. So I do hope for growth, but if it gets to a place, and if it gets to a place where I feel it's too much for the home, then I would want to move to a larger place.
Thank you. What would that number be, and just roughly the maximum that you could foresee?
Can you move closer to the microphone,
Oh,
please?
okay, I'm sorry. What would the number be as you might consider the maximum capacity, or a maximum number of clients, I should say, for your home?
I mean, I think max capacity would be utilizing all 3 rooms for all 3 hours, maybe each night. But I just don't foresee that happening, because we need to stagger so that we are making sure that people are not running into each other. And so I think that max capacity, I wouldn't be able to really give you that solid answer,
Okay, so 3.
because it's open from 3 to 8, which is like
Okay.
5 hours. So we should be able to fit like 3 visits in there during that time frame. So that's maybe 15 a week if we're full.
Okay. Thank you. That's
do you
the
have
only
any-
question I had at this.
Okay, thank you. And I understand there were no written comments.
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Commissioners, do you have any other questions based on what you heard?
Just a quick thing. I mean, I think, to your point, I think the growth of turning this into from what appears to be a residential house, which it is, to something that has a lot of clients coming in a more commercial capacity, besides increasing traffic, increases or decreases parking. I'm assuming that is part of your concern. I ask this question a lot, Steve. Are we setting any precedent by doing this?
I do not believe that I've ever participated in one of these conditional use hearings. So is the direction you're going in is setting a threshold for weekly visits?
Or just approving, if we approve a commercial use of this or any capacity in a residence, whatever the business is visit, are we setting precedent to make it easier in the future? Because our goal is to sort of use the comprehensive plan as our guide, which is to convert residential into single family homes and create ownership here. And that this is sort of the opposite of that.
Well, the Harrison district is a little schizophrenic. I mean, there are B1 portions, B2 portions, R3 portions, and then you've got a smattering of single-family homes. Any zoning designation is not, the entire designation of Harrison Street is fairly inconsistent because it starts at the furthest east as industrial. I think this location has a value add of being a corner, being across from the park. I think if we were looking at something like an infill single-family dwelling that perhaps was surrounded by apartment buildings. The point I'm trying to make is every case is going to have its own unique characteristics. So I don't know that precedence is a concern at this point, because the physical characteristics of any possible petitioner, I just don't see that happening. I mean, I really don't. And the list of available people who would qualify for this, CPAs, lawyers, doctors, architects, you know, you look at those architects don't meet with a lot of people during the day. Doctors, you know, if you're a doctor and you're opening up in a single family dwelling, you're not going to be in business very long. This, I think, is a complete outlier based on what the petitioner is attempting to accomplish here. CPAs might be a little bit higher volume, but again, you meet with a husband and a wife or a single professional to get your taxes done.
Yeah, the public part of it makes me have reservations about it, but
Well, again, they're supervised. The park is open to the general public. I mean, I don't imagine you're not advertising that as a value add.
No.
But I would assume under a supervised environment, if a child and their non-custodial parent want to go for a walk, they should be able to go for a walk around the block, right?
Yes.
well, I don't think we're saying anything different than that. You know, my concern coming in was the public actually being in a residential building and safety, and you've addressed the safety issue for me, so.
And there are small businesses, you know, there's Taco Bran, there's the former hairdresser that's on the corner directly east of there. I mean, there's still a smattering of commercial uses there.
But those are zoned. That's to me, it's a little bit different.
Grandfathered.
Well, again, and this is an opportunity to vet a conditional use. I
So
think
once, that's the other thing is, so when we put this conditional use in place, if Lisette sells this house, that conditional use is still with the house, or is that?
she'd
sort
need
of
to, she'd need to send it, she'd need to sell it to another, guardian ad
Oh,
litem. I
meets the-
think that
meets the
might limit her,
criteria.
you know, the buying possibility, but yes, the zoning does stay with the address.
I mean, I run my business from my home office too, but I don't meet with the public in it. So that's just in full disclosure.
A different question for you. If you decide to move your business out of the building or to sell your home to somebody who just wants to live there, is there going to be a lot of deconversion? Is it going to be something that would make people look twice and say, I don't want to live there because I'd have to do all that?
I'm honestly doing zero structural changes. Zero.
So when you converted the house 5 years ago, you had this in mind at that time?
No, actually, I
No.
didn't. I've been thinking about it for years. And I actually was, I did list my house actually for sale because I was going to sell it and use the money to buy another home and start this business somewhere. And then I was speaking to my realtor and he said, you have the perfect home to at least start the business. And so I took it off the listing and started the process because I love Forest Park. I actually love where I live. I'm across the street from softball fields and the pool and a very busy area. I live in a very, very busy area.
Okay. Any other questions?
Did I lose the motion? Here, here we go.
Or-
Um,
Are there any amendments to the motion?
do we want a required exit sign of any sort?
How about an egress map on the walls?
Egress map would be.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so. You want me to present the motion?
You can, one correction, the dyslexic, so that's 675.
675, not
26.
625?
7526. Yeah, and the only thing I would emphasize, I don't know if this is a motion, is that we stay true to the requirements. That what is going on in the business is hold solely in the house.
All right. 7526. All right, based on, I'm presenting the motion. Based on the evidence presented today, the Planning and Zoning Commission recommends conditional use approval for a professional office in a residence of a practicing professional person at 7526 Harrison Street. I thought it was on. Forest Park, Illinois, subject to compliance with all sections of the home occupation, except subsection D2, but including a requirement that it remain fully within the home and including a requirement that they, that an egress map is added.
Hey, you know what, why don't we do, emergency lighting as well? Okay, maybe 2 units, one in the basement, one on the first floor. In case they lose power, it will illuminate the means of egress. That's a cheap fix.
Emergency lighting. And then you want an exit sign? And an exit sign. All good?
Yeah.
All right. Do we need a second?
We do.
Second.
Those in favor?
We
You
have
want
to
to do
vote.
roll call?
All right,
Is our motion?
yeah. Pardon?
Motion?
I moved.
She moved.
She
Or
read
was
the
it?
motion. And she added the
Yeah, so
corrections
moved.
on there.
Um,
Seconded.
second was
Kevin?
Kevin. All right. Roll call, Kevin Hibbets,
Yes.
Ryan Russ, not here. Carrie McBride, yes. Scott Whitebone,
Yes.
Paul Price is not here. Marcia East,
Yes.
Steve Rummel is not here. The motion carries 4-0.
Okay. May I have a motion to close the public hearing of PZC 2026-02?
Second.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Great. Thank
Close
you
the
very
meeting.
much. Close the meeting.
Move to close the meeting.
All in favor?
Aye.
That was adjourned?
Yes.
Close the meeting, adjourn the meeting, sorry.
Thank you, everybody.